So we got 1.5 inches of rain in July. The average is 3.5 in the key growing regions in America. We know there's no corn, and the corn is essentially what it is because it hasn't self-pollinated. So we're kind of beyond the corn trade at this point. Now we're looking at beans and wheat.
It's staggering to see what the lack of amount of rain that we've seen so far this summer and really throughout the entire spring. So yeah, the corn game is all but over. Now it's just a matter of how much damage was really done. I think we discussed a little bit. We started out 166 yield. We have projections as low as 100. Now that's an extreme,
wow.
But I mean it's a dire situation.
So when does it become that the farmers actually oversold?
We are probably reaching that point now.
Right.
They thought they had 30% sold when they had a 166 yield, and now that's probably more like a 75 to 80% sold and potentially 100% sold, and they haven't sold a thing in $2 rally.
So in terms of options pricing and so forth, is it very, very expensive? Does it make sense to sell at this point, or is that risk? The risk just isn't out of it yet.
Yeah, the risk is not out of it yet.
Right.
It's definitely not out of it because the unknowns of the demand is still is out there,
right.
And the unknown of how bad this crop really is still out there. So yes, we've rallied $2.50 in the last 6 weeks in corn and $3 in beans, but who's to say that can't happen again?
But in terms of the bean and the wheat complex, is that the crop just the end of it for 2012? Is there even any hope at this point?
Beans still have some time, but it's late in the fourth quarter. We're at the 2-minute warning, and it better get rain soon. And if not, yes, the beans are just as destructive as corn.
But over the past couple of years, we've seen the demand for bean really go up, more so than I guess any other complex. What's the reason for that?
Well, the growth in the Chinese areas, the Asian areas as a whole, India, all of these people are continuing to consume more and more. And where corn has some feed products that can be offset with wheat and things along those, beans don't have that luxury. Beans are used, and they don't have an outsource of another crop to use.
So when we come back here in August, what are the two outcomes that we're going to look at? What will we be talking about at that point?
Well, we have a gigantic crop report, which will probably one of the biggest crop reports in history on August 10th. That will be something that will be focused on here in the next coming weeks. By the time you come back in middle of August, we'll see what the weather really has been for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and that'll determine, did we salvage anything at all, or is complete destruction out there?
So we'll know by then if these crops, if it even matters for 2012. So going forward for 2013, do you think they'll do anything different? Maybe not plant as early as we did this year, or that doesn't even matter in this case?
I'm not sure it matters. I mean, historically speaking, if you can plant early, it's a good thing.
Right.
Usually you beat the heat, you beat the dryness, and this year it didn't work out that way. But we're going to see expansion. The land is there for some government programs that they'll release some land to be able to plant more. South America will plant above and beyond what they have in the years past. So you're going to see a lot of acreage increases, and hopefully that production will offset some of the loss that we had this summer.
All right, thanks, Gary.